Beginning. The joke that started it all. The first time I met her, I didn't even realize she was laughing at me. Or maybe laughing with me, it was hard to tell with her species. Her name was Sereth, a Xylenian envoy stationed on Earth as part of the Galactic Cultural Exchange Program. I was a technician assigned to maintain the communication modules between human and alien facilities. Not exactly a glamorous job, but it paid well enough and came with a thrill of seeing extraterrestrials up close. Sereth wasn't like the others. Most Xylenians were towering silver-skinned beings with eyes like polished steel and an unsettling calm that made humans uncomfortable. But Sereth, she was different. Her skin had a faint shimmer of lavender under the light, and when she smiled, which she rarely did, the air seemed to still. I had just finished calibrating her translator interface when I cracked the joke that would change everything. "Now, if you ever need anything, repairs, help, or even a date, just call me," I said, half laughing. It was the kind of harmless banter that made my coworkers roll their eyes. Except she didn't laugh. She tilted her head in that slow, curious Xylenian way. "A date," she repeated, her voice a soft hum through the translator. "You mean a pairing ritual?" Froze. No, not like that. It's a human thing. A joke." Her violet eyes studied me for a long moment before she simply said, "Understood." And that should have been the end of it. Except it wasn't. Middle. A joke that became real. Over the next few weeks, Sereth found reasons to call for maintenance more often than any other alien representative. Broken interface. Malfunctioning light sensors. Accidental system resets. It was obvious to everyone that her equipment didn't really need fixing. But I didn't mind. I liked talking to her. She asked strange questions about human art, emotions, dreams. Sometimes she'd repeat phrases just to understand their nuance. One afternoon she asked about sarcasm. "So when you said you wanted a date," she said slowly, "that was sarcasm?" "Yeah," I chuckled. "It was just me being playful." She nodded thoughtfully. On Xylenia, playfulness implies intention. That made me pause. Intention. Desire. Connection. It is not used without purpose. I scratched the back of my neck, suddenly self-conscious. Well, humans use it all the time. It doesn't mean anything serious. She leaned forward slightly, her eyes glowing faintly in the dim light. Then I suppose humans waste many chances to say what they truly feel. Something in her tone made my heart skip a beat. And for the first time I couldn't tell if I was the one being studied or tested. An invitation. Weeks passed. I told myself it was all cultural misunderstanding. That was until I received a formal notice. Invitation to Galactic Embassy. Personal meeting requested by Envoy Sereth. When I arrived, the entire embassy was dimmed to the soft bioluminescent hues of Xylenian architecture, flowing shapes that seemed to breathe. Sereth stood waiting at the center, wearing ceremonial armor that shimmered with threads of energy. "I requested your presence," she said, "to fulfill an agreement." My heart thumped. "What agreement?" "The one you offered," she said simply. "You told me to call you for a date." My mouth went dry. "Sereth, that was just a joke," she finished for me. Yes, I've learned that word. But I also learned humans sometimes hide truth inside humor. "I wish to see which one you are." The silence between us was heavy. And then gently she extended her hand, 3 elegant fingers tipped with faint light. "Will you honor your own words?" I stared at her hand. It was ridiculous, unreal. But something inside me, curiosity maybe, pushed me forward. Took it. Her skin was warm, softer than I expected. The translator didn't hum, didn't interfere. For a moment, it was just the two of us standing in the alien glow. She smiled faintly. Then we begin. The ceremony. I didn't realize what begin meant until we stepped into the next chamber. A circle of Xylenian attendants stood around us, their eyes reflecting the light like mirrors. The room pulsed with faint harmonic tones, and a strange mist rose from the floor. Wait, I whispered. This looks official. It is, Sereth replied calmly. You accepted my invitation. Xylenian custom dictates the first touch of hands initiates a bonding test. A what? A test of compatibility, she said. To determine if two consciousnesses can share resonance. Resonance. Like emotional connection. More, she said, stepping closer. We align our life frequencies. It is not done lightly. My brain screamed back out now, but my feet stayed frozen. Seretha's gaze was steady, her voice soft but commanding. Do not fear. You may withdraw any time. She pressed her palm, if you could call it that, against my chest. The light from her skin flowed outward, wrapping around me in waves of violet and silver. I gasped as warmth flooded through my body, not painful but deep, like every nerve was waking up. Images flashed in my head. A vast ocean of stars, a city built inside a nebula, creatures of light weaving through clouds of plasma. And through it all, her voice. Do you see now why I cannot joke about connection? When it ended, I stumbled backward, breathless. My body felt lighter. The attendants had gone silent. Sereth was staring at me wide-eyed. It worked, she whispered. Our frequencies matched. What does that mean? Yes. It means, she said softly, that your joke has consequences. Middle to climax. Consequences. From that moment everything changed. Sereth started appearing in my thoughts. At first it was fleeting, her voice, her emotions like faint echoes. Then it grew stronger. I could feel her presence even when she wasn't there. The calm rhythm of her thoughts, the way her emotions rippled through mine like distant waves. The scientists at the Human Embassy called it cross-species empathic resonance. To me, it felt like being haunted, beautifully, terrifyingly haunted. One night, as I tried to sleep, her voice echoed in my mind. You think too loudly, human. I sat up in bed. Sereth. You can hear me. Can feel you. You are afraid. Of course I am. I whispered. We barely know each other and now we're connected? Not by force. You accepted. I didn't know what I was accepting. Now you do. For days I avoided her. But it didn't matter. The connection remained. Every time she felt something intense, curiosity, sadness, amusement, I sensed it too. And worse, part of me began to like it. Then, 3 days later, she appeared at my quarters in person. No translator. No guards. Just her. You are withdrawing, she said. I didn't ask for this, Sereth. But you did. Your species hides truth behind jest. You spoke from instinct, not logic. She stepped closer, her voice dropping to a whisper. You desire connection. You fear it because it makes you vulnerable. I'm human. That's what we do. She smiled faintly. Then let me show you what happens when you stop pretending. Climax, the war and the choice. Before I could figure out what that meant, war erupted. A rogue faction from another alien system, the Dreth, attacked the Xylenian embassy. Explosions tore through the compound. I was caught in the chaos, trying to evacuate human personnel when the ceiling collapsed near the central chamber. Sereth found me amid the wreckage, her armor glowing faintly as energy bolts streaked through the air.